When did you realize your friends weren't actually your friends? When they only called you when they need something from you. I would never hear from anyone unless they needed something, usually when they wanted it for free. That's about where I'm at RN. I have like 2 friends that actually HMU besides my GF. The rest only talk to me if they're trying to sell me drugs or buy drugs. Not my story, but a mate's. Guy invites all his high school friends, has known them around 10 years, around to celebrate his new house and newborn daughter. All the lads he invites drop MDMA in his lounge room and spend the night tripping without him, not even caring that he had all this amazing stuff he wanted to celebrate. Guy walks up to the ladies, who are obviously unhappy with the situation, and tells them, "I've just realized these guys aren't my mates. They are just using this event to drop and have fun on their own." Hearing that story broke my ducking heart. Me and 2 girls were walking down the street and they completely ignored me, so I was walking behind them. Then I decided to just turn around and walk back home. They didn't notice and they never asked where I went. That really hurt. Also, at another point, one of the girls came up to me and just flat out said to me, "Sometimes I don't understand why you have friends." Well, recently I'd started wondering about it too. When I got ill, once they realized I could no longer throw parties for them, they all left. When I realized that my 2 best friends just came over to mess with me and make fun of me together. When no one checked if I was okay when my dad died. I was like a decoration on their conversations with each other, and they only talked to me to tell me things like, "Be quiet," or "Can I borrow this PLZZ?" Mom got cancer and I had to come home and drop out of college to help the family. Said I might need some emotional support etc. and got ghosted the next day. Real shitty part is I helped one of them with their grandmother's cancer and brother's attempted suicide. I came across an old mutual friend back in late 2016. We talked and caught up with our lives from a 10-year gap since we've seen each other last. Following year 17 through 18, he started turning things around and becoming a fake friend. He started asking for money at least once a month at first, then progressed to every other week, varying from $20, then to $100, then $500. Excuses were, "I need it for my cell phone bill," or "I need it for a Mother's Day gift," followed by "I need it for rent." Meanwhile, this guy was working at McDonald's full-time at $16 an hour and living with his grandparents rent-free. I decided to cut ties with this person when I was in a fragile mental state, and they thought it was funny to make me break down, and they have the nerve to leech on me a few hours before a test. I ended up leaving them to fail instead of helping. I'll offer some advice that comes from 40 years of figuring things out. 1. If they make you feel bad more often than they make you feel good, they aren't your friend. 2. If they should talk about mutual friends to you, they're also slagging you off to those self-same people. They aren't your friend. 3. If you are constantly the butt of their jokes in front of other people, they aren't your friend. 4. If they undermine your achievements or are only supportive when they want something, they aren't your friend. 5. If they are ducking your fiancé behind your back, they are definitely not your friend. Bit of a specialist category, that one. Was talking to her during class and she just says, "Why don't you have other friends?" Exclamation mark. It was terrible, especially since this guy behind us just froze at her comment and stared at us to see what happens next. Edit. I honestly didn't think this would get this much attention and criticism, but I'll give you the context of this. Also, I'm sorry to anyone saying they had similar experiences. That feeling really sucks. Close bracket. I, female, was extremely close to her since elementary school, and this happened in middle school in the middle of class. We were just talking normally when she just blurts this out, which is why I mentioned the guy. I think he was talking to us when she said it, and he happened to be my crush's best friend. So it was even more embarrassing that he heard this. Also, I wasn't always bothering her with my problems. In fact, I had always felt left out because it seemed like I was more her friend than she was mine. I did have other friends, but like I said, Me and her were close. Also, the relationship didn't end between us. It did end though, when she moved a year later. But after that I figured out the type of person she was. Also, her question didn't sound like a friendly question. Which is clearly why I'm still hurt by it after all these years. When in my senior year I found myself completely and utterly alone after a difficult breakup. When I broke up with a girl that I had dated for less than 5 months and they all abandoned me for her, and then I found out they all were taking a trip to Colorado together and nobody even bothered to tell me. I found that out on Facebook. I was in a group of friends at uni and one of them was Swedish. This was remote friendship. We distanced. But I accidentally came across on Facebook that the Swedish guy came to visit the others. I'm unsure if I would have gone, but I would have liked to have been included. The silence confirmed that I was better off not in their lives. When they start hiding things from me. When you need help, so you start writing him a message, then see 3 unanswered messages from you asking for his helps, and right above a conversation of you helping him out for hours on stupid shits. When he ripped me and our other friend slash flatmate off for $700, and when we confronted him about it, he took all his nice stuff and left us to get rid of his trash and never paid us our money back. So essentially we were down $700, meaning we had to come up with that money. We had to continue paying rent etc with one less income, and we had to pay to get rid of his crap. Fuck you, Vance. When I stopped initiating conversations and all communication stopped. After middle school, I realized that my friends weren't actually my friends, since they'd spent basically the entirety of it bullying me and making my life a living hell. I was so used to being abused and mistreated. I thought that was what friendship was. It's unfortunate that the leader of it all got to live a good life, and I'm just fortunate that my friends from high school, who also knew this dude, believed me when I told them what kind of a person he was to me. When I had a large hole in my foot after stepping on an iron spike, they laughed as the ambulance guys closed the doors. One of the ambulance guys said, "Some friends you've got there." I realized he was right. When they left me bleeding and concussed on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere in Cuba to find my way back to the resort completely disoriented. I was in a band with my closest friends, and we used to travel a lot for gigs etc. because it was just for fun, and we all had real jobs. Sometimes one of wouldn't be able to make it, and I noticed that whoever wasn't in the car would get ruthlessly slammed by my friends. After 3 or 4 times I worked out that if I wasn't in the car, they would say bad things about me. So one day I say I can't make it to the gig, and I send along a colleague from work to take my place. Next day he reported back to me that they spent the whole trip there and back hanging shit on me, and not in a fun way. They genuinely were not my friends. Never spoke to any of them again. When I tried to be her wing woman for this guy she was crushing on, but the guy liked me instead. So she crushed up some of her Xanax and put it in my drink, and then left me by the side of some old train tracks. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Thank you to everyone wishing me well. To give a bit more info to the whole thing. No, I did not contact the police. At the time I was with a very controlling narcissistic partner, and my first thought upon waking actually revolved around what would happen to me if he found out. I thought I somehow blacked out on 2 drinks and this was all my fault. So I did not tell anyone for a long time. However, she did. Being the person that she was, she actually bragged to a mutual friend of ours about what she did for stealing the spotlight, and that's how I came to know it was her and the drug she used. After our mutual friend found out, she came and told me, and then everyone stopped being friends with the psycho. I never ever in a million years I thought I would need to protect myself against another woman while drinking, let alone a friend. I have severe trust issues now, but I guess it's better than being naive. When they are not happy for you for doing well, and don't care about you when you're not doing well. When I got sober. A quote I love: "They aren't real friends until they defend you in your absence." When they need you to be there for them, but don't want to be bothered to be there for you. Don't think I ever had asked my friends for support. but didn't know that I had to ask for it. Kinda just wish those years locked in my head just trying to figure out how to be happy. Someone would come visit and see what's up. I wish I had chosen real friends growing up like Anthony who got me into wrestling and ninjas. Sarah who told me her ghost stories. Jordan who sat next to me at band. Genuine people and I traded it for false importance. When my best friend had her BF cheat on her, and the group of people who witnessed it didn't say anything for a whole year, it made me question their morals. Like if I was in my bestest position would they not say anything for a whole year? Not to mention, they would talk massive amount of crap on us when we weren't around. So yay, my best friend at the time witnessed my ex cheating on me. He agonized over whether to tell me, ultimately deciding not to because he knew that, as in love with her as I was, I would never believe him and then I would end our friendship. He chose to remain silent so that he could support me when I found out on my own. He confessed once she and I had broken up, fully expecting me to punch him in the face. Instead, I hugged him and thanked him. When they greet you in the morning, not with a good morning or hello, no what's up, no hey there, it's yo you got me weed? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Like duck. Dude, no, I don't have any weed for leeches. Crazy, but when a very toxic ex-GF made note that they weren't my friends, I didn't listen. After recovering from that horrible breakup, I met / started dating / quarantining with a really nice lady. Friends I fed, partied with and traveled with were jealous and would start picking me apart in front of said lady. End of the story is everyone is gone now. Should listen to toxic GF. 1/10 would not repeat. When someone else told me they said they're only your friend because they feel sorry for you and tried prying as to why, me and this girl were both in school counseling for absent fathers. So hearing this after she left the school was kinda devastating. Not to mention, another reason I won't trust anyone. I'd never had friends. And this was 4th grade. I just wish I knew why I was so pitiful. So sad. They felt they had to pretend to be my friend. When I was getting abused and they didn't care or rather just left my life entirely. We were seniors in high school. It was when a friend asked me to write her entire senior research paper because she was failing and I said no. She then went on to tell the entire school about my past sexual abuse which I had disclosed to her in confidence the year prior. That's how I got the nickname Alabama for the rest of the year. It was my brother who assaulted me when I was 5 and he was 15. As a small consolation prize, she failed senior year, dropped out, works at Walmart last I heard, and has 3 kids with 3 guys. I went on to get my nursing degree, work IQ/er, and am happily married. Fuck you Nikki, you got what you deserved. My best friend from high school didn't invite me to his wedding. My husband's best friend, been buddies since GR2, asked my husband to organize his stag party, said they hadn't set a date, but wanted to do the party anyway. Guy got married 2 weeks later. Husband wasn't invited. When I moved, no one stayed in touch, even with me trying. When I started working from home, no one has checked in on me, starting to think I'm just unlikable tbh. When I stopped buying pot and alcohol for them and they disappeared. When I moved and no one ever visited me or called when I had kids and never invited me to their weddings, and if I was sat at the random table. Either we were super tight, but I was just a random to them. When they chose to believe a rumor over me, well so and so said this about you. That was when I chose my own path and those that wanted to keep me as a friend decided to do so. When I realized I'd dreading talking to them. When I have to be the first to message them, or they won't bother to talk to me. I went 3 months without a single text from anyone. When I got rid of Facebook, on the plus side, it did show me who the real friends were and who I was willing to keep up a meaningful relationship with. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.